I guess it's time to pull up the portal. Is it? Okay, all right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Monday, November 27th, 2023 meeting of the Litchfield Board of Selectmen. We've just come out of a paperwork review, and we'd like to start this meeting off with everyone rising to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's nice when you got a crowd doing it. Quick note, we are down to 3 members tonight. Selectman Lynch is ill, and Selectman Gannon had a work emergency and had to be at work, so we have Vice Chair Queenan, Selectman Weber, and myself tonight. So, do we want to do the swearing in first?
Sure.
Why don't we do that? Got a lot of boys in blue out here, and girls. All right,
Do you want to, are they going to?
we'll turn it over to Ms. Brian. I'll tell the people at home, our town clerk will be swearing in our new police officer, Mr. Ricard. See if I can get a video going here.
Jason, do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully and impartially discharge and perform all the duties incumbent upon you as a full-time police officer, according to the best of your abilities, agreeable to the rules and regulations of the Constitution and the state of New Hampshire, and the ordinance of the town of Litchfield, so help you God?
I do.
I already got the message.
Sorry. Say, get out of my way.
Quit already?
They're very hard.
Welcome to Litchfield, sir.
Welcome.
Congratulations and welcome.
Need anything, we're a phone call away. All right? Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Dennis, I sent you the video.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
And I assume you have refreshments.
There are light refreshments across the hall. Everybody is more than welcome to come on over.
How late you gonna be there?
These days,
We got a long night. We got a long night. Very nice, very nice.
Enjoy.
That's great, that's great.
Yeah, we will.
Thank you.
Perfect, all right,
Thanks, everyone. Be well.
Evening.
thanks. All right. That's the fun part of this job.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dennis. Take care.
Yep. All right. Up next, we have review and approval of consent items. We have an AP manifest for November 21st, 2023 in the amount of $39,767.08. And for November 28th, 2023 in the amount of $2,062,559.19. We have a payroll manifest for November 22nd, 2023, in the amount of $55,307.55. And for November 30th, 2023, in the amount of $59,893.36. We have a transfer from Technology and Communication Expendable Trust Fund in the amount of $8,435.20. We have the 2023 Municipal Assessment Data Certificate, Preliminary Equalization Study Data Submission, and October 2023 Treasurer Reconciliation. Any items anybody would like removed or to speak on? No? Okay, hearing none, we'll take a motion for acceptance.
So moved.
We have a motion from Mr. Weber.
Second?
We have a second from Ms. Queenan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries 3-0-0. Yep, absolutely. All right. Requests for additional items, other business?
I would like to add the Friends of Litchfield beautification donation to the Litchfield Recreation Commission.
All right. We have a motion from Mr. Weber to add.
Second?
Second from Ms. Queenan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 3-0-0. Motion carries. All right. Public input will occur no earlier than 6:45 PM. All right, under business, we have approval of the minutes for November 13th, 2023. 2024 to 2029 capital improvement presentation. Oh, no, we got to stop right there, right?
Yes.
All right, it's not the second one we have. Okay, good. Approval of the minutes. Everybody read them?
I did not see anything.
I
was
didn't
good.
see anything. I neither. All right, motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to
Motion,
approve.
Ms. Queen?
November
Second.
13th.
Second from Mr. Weber. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0-0.
Do you want to bring the Friends of Litchfield beautification, get them out first?
Let's do that. Friends of Litchfield Beautification, which in this case would be Mr. and Mrs. Brennan.
Mr. Chair?
How are you?
Good. Jason Brennan, 23 Aldrich Street, Litchfield. So on behalf of the citizens of Litchfield, particularly the 80 citizens who donated to the cause, we hereby present this fake check.
What's that?
We hereby present this fake check in the amount, it's real money behind the scenes, in the amount of $3,000 to the town of Litchfield for the purpose of lighting up the night sky with fireworks at the 2023 Christmas in Litchfield event. We think this will add a great finale to a good event. A few little tidbits, Mr. Chair. In the span of nearly 36 hours, $2,930 was raised by nearly 80 residents of the town and businesses, all done via social media, all done from Saturday morning till Sunday night. We got a very good response. As I mentioned, nearly 80 contributions, anywhere between $10 and $400 between those contributions. Want to just put a quick shout out there to my wife Judy Brennan. Steve Gannon supported quite a bit as well. Also a big thanks to Janice Paris from the Spirit of Litchfield, to Steve Weber, who kind of carried the ball on the Board of Selectmen side of the fence, and to Andy McClavey, is that how you pronounce his last name? Yep. Who donated his time, who did all the permitting type of stuff, got all the different sign-offs, and he actually got, I think, a great deal on the fireworks, and you're gonna see them, they're gonna be something like the vicinity of, he said, better than what the Fisher Cats are. So I think we're good to go, so I'm gonna hand this check over to you. On behalf of the citizens of Litchfield, and thank you very much to the Board of Selectmen members that donated as well, and
Thank
to
you
my
for all
wife
your
for
efforts
helping.
and all Judy's efforts.
awesome.
And my wife wrote the check out, and it looks perfect. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I know Mr. Weber was acting as the collector. I slid a check in his door
You
yesterday,
certainly did, thank you.
so that was great. All right. Up next,
We have to approve it, the
Oh.
donation.
Yeah, we do, that's right.
We have to accept it, yes.
Need a motion to accept the donation.
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Weber.
Second?
Second from Ms. Coleman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0-0. All right. Up next, capital improvement plan. See, we have Mr. Croto here.
Yeah, please. You can do that, absolutely.
Actually, before you do that, I'm going to open it up to public input. Seeing as there's no members of the public coming forward for public input, we will close public input at 6:49 PM. We opened it at 6:49 PM. All right. So, well, Mr. Croto,
How we
been
doing?
hearing a lot about this thing coming forward.
Yes,
I'm almost scared to have you here.
well, we had to come at some point. I hope everyone is doing well, had a good Thanksgiving.
Did you?
I did.
Thanks.
Very nice, thank you.
Very nice.
You better hit that plug right there.
Oh, if we can, sure. Okay, cool. This will be, let's see if I can, I know I have issues with this. Yeah. Just want to make sure. See this one? Nope, back here. This one? Okay, thank you. Andrew is my technical guy tonight.
So
Sorry.
this is a copy of the spreadsheet that's, in case you wanted a hard copy to look at,
For
of
this,
the plan, yes.
Yes, there are some updates. We'll get to that.
Steve, you don't need one?
I don't like paper.
Oh, well, I have it downloaded it.
Okay.
I'm not that fancy.
I have to read this.
There we go. Okay. Well, good evening, everybody.
Hello.
We, CIP presentation. There we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, turn the,
It was on.
It wasn't this, though, that was displaying.
input.
Nope,
See it?
This thing, is it plugged into this thing here?
It's HDMI.
It's not.
Oh, you might have the wrong
I don't
plug.
think you're in the right place.
Yes, Wesley,
Oh.
grab this cord.
that one
Oh,
right
oh,
there.
it's, yeah,
Right,
it's
yep.
the blue one,
Oh,
right?
mine works with
Yep.
that.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, they were just using that one.
Yep.
Sorry, thank you.
Yeah, see, that's not what he's displaying. Yeah, there you go.
Let's see if that works.
I didn't touch anything. No.
No.
It's generally one.
Can you go back to one? That's not his computer. That's the issue.
This computer.
Who's it plugged in?
I don't know, but that's not his.
The computer over here
Oh.
for like WebExes and stuff.
Oh.
Use her machine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. There it is, thank you. All right, good evening, everybody. So, it's that time of year again. The Capital Improvement Planning Committee has met for,
Went blank.
Uh-oh, went blank.
should come up,
It's just there.
yeah.
That's not you.
Yeah.
You see it on your
No.
screen?
It should be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay, so we got it. Oscar. I had it, now I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that TV works.
That is very strange. It was fine.
Yeah.
It stopped.
Do you need to try this blue cable, Kim?
Generally it's this one for me, but
Okay.
it's HMA one, but
I'd try the other one.
let me try the other one. Okay, let me try the other one. Worst comes to worst, Oscar, you have a little computer over there?
Yeah, we got a phone.
I think I had to do that
Yeah.
last time.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not
Back.
touching it.
Stay.
We're back.
All right. Heal. So, this is, I believe this is when did we start this? In 2019, was it,
About
Andrew? I think, so this is our third year, right? Or I think third year doing this capital improvement planning committee. This year, we're looking at 2024 to 2029 as the projected timeframe. Let's see. Okay, not gonna do that. All right. So the committee members this year, obviously, the committee is composed of members of the planning board, school board, the board of selectmen. We have 2 citizens reps, a budget committee representative who is non-voting, the town administrator who is non-voting, and Jamin Kara from NRPC is also a non-voting member. And of course, we have the business administrator for the Litchfield School District who is also a non-voting member. So the vision statement, well, when the Capital Improvement Committee was created back in approximately 2019, we put together a vision statement for what it is that we hoped that the Capital Improvement Committee would be able to accomplish as a board. This was intended to be a blueprint for the next 6 years. This year, it's through the year of 2029. Basically, we're looking at several things. We're looking at the future growth of our town, its resources, prioritizing strategic and short and long-term economic development goals. We're looking at the cost impact of those goals, as well as offsetting revenues, sources, and the aspects of our town's future considered by the CIP, which include, as you see up there, the heritage, preservation and community character, land use, growth management, preservation of natural resources, economic development, community services and facilities, infrastructure needs, and the replacement and continuing maintenance of town assets. So the committee aims to put forth basically a recommended list of capital needs across the town and school district in order to protect the town's investments as well as limit tax impact in a controlled manner. And we are committed to full transparency as a board to Litchfield residents, and we welcome feedback, and seeks the Board of Selectmen, the Budget Committee, for their approval of recommended warrant articles in March of 2024 that can begin to be actioned in a phased and what we feel is a fiscally responsible manner. So that's really the vision. What is the capital improvement plan? The plan, as I said, outlines a schedule of proposed capital investments in land, in buildings, equipment over a 6-year period. So this year's plan is focused 2024 to 2029. These projects are classified or categorized by need, urgency, and timing. And they are based on information provided by the town department heads, the town committees and commissions with information related to costs, need, and sources of funding. Why does the town do this? Why does it exercise this plan? Well, the CIP will assist the Board of Selectmen, the Budget Committee, and the voters in the town in their consideration of the annual budget, placing a large capital investments within the context of a larger term plan. And under state law, Litchfield is required to adopt a CIP to continue to assess impact fees on new development. So that's one of the key things. The benefits of, what are the benefits of impact fees? Well, they allow the town to offset costs of new buildings, equipment purchases, and other capital investments to accommodate new residential development, growth, costs that would otherwise be borne solely by the taxpayer if not, if we didn't have that. The CIP committee here in Litchfield believes that this should be an ongoing process, and we've committed to this as a planning and budgetary tool, and so we see this as a living, breathing document as we continue forward. We will continue to look at the next cycle of 6 years and going forward. So, the authority, legal authority for the CIP is under state statute. It's RSA 674:5 and 6. In 2014, the town of Litchfield did a warrant article delegating authority of the CIP to the Board of Selectmen, to the governing body. This is permitted by statute. Originally, the CIP authority is under the planning board in some towns, but in others, it can be done through a delegated authority, such as the Board of Selectmen, and that's what the town voted to do. So it was formed at the direction of the Select Board. Capital Improvement Planning Committee was created to develop a master plan of key projects that would span both town and school. And we were looking at how much the anticipated expenses for various departments, anything up to $50,000 or more. This document, and we have to emphasize this is a planning document, it's a vision document, it's an advisory document, it's not a regulatory document. It has to be voted on by the respective boards, budget committee, and voters at town meeting each year. And so anything in this document is for planning purposes, so it wouldn't necessarily accurately reflect tax impact or actual funded projects at this stage. The CIP plan was developed based on input from various town department heads as well as the school district. For 2024, the CIP focused on 4 urgent priorities. The first being a new police facility needs assessment, police department records management system replacement, also the replacement of the talent hall floor, and a new elementary school, GMS. Committee made a conscious effort to limit, the peaks and the valleys and the tax rate impact from year to year. So if you look, 1.2 million in 2024, 3.1 million to 3.6 million in years 2025 to 2029. We're going to skip over water improvements. That's a placeholder here. I know that the Board of Selectmen and their legal counsel are looking into that, and obviously there's a plan coming forward. So we're not going to dive into that tonight. So we're going to sort of put that as a placeholder. We're going to focus on the police department first. So the police department facilities needs assessment really is a first step for planning for the future. You may recall, past years the police department had come forward to the CIP looking for a new a future police department. And one of the issues with the current police department has to do with space and facilities needs. This needs assessment would help in that process. It would be the first step in that process to determine what are the needs of the police department. We also have existing revenue for the facility needs assessment and design. That's $30,000 in impact fees. That would be the total cost of that, project cost for that assessment. We also have the 2024 vehicles. We are to include 2 new police vehicles as replacements. Obviously, you folks have an aging fleet right now, and they're also having 1 supervisor vehicle. And we also included, we actually included that as necessary. So there's, for the 6-year total, that's $758,000. That's the total cost for that. In 2024, we included as urgent for the 2024-29, the need to replace a 15-year plus aged Litchfield Police Department records management system, which my understanding is will no longer be supported within the next 3 years. And so we felt that that was an urgent need, especially for safety and purposes for the town. Fire department, well, we talked about the tanker truck replacement, so that remains on the original CIP plan based on what was previously approved last year. There are no new updates or new requests this year submitted by the fire department. So the committee voted to make the priority ranking for that research for the 1991 tanker truck. The highway department, so the town's operating budget includes $200,000 for annual road improvements in accordance with the master road plan, with $1,200,000 in existing revenue. And I believe that's, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that's from block grant money? Block grant, highway block grant. So we're looking at that as a total project cost of $1,200,000 based on, and the priority ranking is necessary. The transfer station highway department paving was rated as necessary. That has been failing, I guess, in many areas of time, and so that was felt by the committee that maybe need of a new replacement for that. The Recreation Commission came before us this term, and their urgent need was Talent Hall. That was the big focus. And one of the particular things about Talent Hall is the floor at Talent Hall, which I guess needs repairs. And so the committee looked at that, and we believe that that is an urgent priority ranking based on the information received from the Recreation Commission. And also Sawmill Park resurfacing of the tennis courts was also second up on that list. And you can see, so for the replacement of Town Hall floor, that's $200,000, that's the total project cost, and $50,000 for the resurface of the tennis courts. Library, we had them come in, I think they came to one meeting, if I recall. They were looking to update some security system at the Lytown Library, their irrigation system. They wanted to do some repairs and enhancements, and they wanted to replace the carpeting. That total project cost came to approximately $25,000. The committee felt that the priority ranking for that is desirable, not necessary. And I think there was talk of a new library facility a while back, but that remains as research. So that's all for library. Conservation Commission has not changed. There's no change from what was previously approved. The $2 million request to purchase certain parcels of land still remains. The total project cost $2 million. Expansion of trails and preservation of wildlife were probably the key areas identified. And so the priority ranking for that was necessary. Do you want me to continue, Andrew, or do you want to talk about the school district?
No, go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. So there's a bit of a change. Tonight, I did send an updated copy of the CIPJ, had updated it. So at the, and forgive me, at the last Board of Selectmen meeting, we had a public hearing.
The planning board meeting.
Planning board meeting. Sorry. We had a public hearing regarding the plan, and there were some changes. Just give me a second.
Absolutely.
Okay.
This email.
need the email? I have the email if you want the hard copy.
That's the correct
Yeah.
printout copy.
Is that the correct one?
Looks like it, from the
I
guidelines.
believe
it's
so.
not.
This is the one I
Okay, because
received
there was a
this
change.
That's
Is that it?
Yes.
May I?
If it's
Yeah,
from this
sorry.
afternoon, that's
Absolutely.
Sorry.
No.
This kind of threw me
Thank
off
you,
a little bit.
Be made on that sheet. Can't hurt.
So the updates to the spreadsheet, just so that I quickly, so the land purchase, yes, thank you, got it. Yeah, I got it on my phone. So the land purchase for the new elementary school, my understanding, and maybe Mr. Cutter can elaborate on that, I wasn't aware of that until at the public hearing, because I didn't watch the school board meeting. I didn't realize that the land purchase had been eliminated for the elementary school. Did you want to say anything about that, or?
Sure, I mean, so, with the public notice, public statement that went out a couple of weeks ago at this point regarding the land, the school board has made the decision to pursue other opportunities for land that the district already owns for replacement of the elementary school. And therefore, there's no need at this point for new land to be acquired by the town.
Okay, so what the planning board voted to amend the CIP so that the $7 million, because $7 million in state building aid, to be added under the special revenue column. And if you look at the plan that has been amended, you will see that that has been done under schools for GMS, new schools for grade PK4 to 39 million. And that, basically, that priority ranking was urgent. There was a lot of discussion about GMS, the deficiencies, creating a critical need for a school. And obviously, you know, the warrant article for bond in March of 2024, which was anticipating $7 million in billing aid. Since that line was eliminated for the land purchase, we included in here the $7 million building aid, and you'll see that what we did was we took out. So originally, it had a total project cost with interest. We took out with interest and basically included the interest. That's all absorbed into one. So total cost, including your interest, were applicable, and that's what you see there on the plan. Okay. The other thing, I'll just go over this quickly. The column headers, I did mention amended for total costs were eliminated, so we took out with interest. And the product, what we did was for the cruisers that I just mentioned, the total project cost was added for the police cruisers. We had changed that from zero. I mean, we had changed that from $758,000 originally to zero, but we put back the $758,000 for the total cost. And finally, the 6-year total cost was added for the annual road paving program, as I mentioned. That's the block grant money. So those are really the changes for that. But as to the new elementary school, that is an urgent need, and that was certainly a priority for the CIP. Other capital projects for the school district, not much change here. You will notice on the plan, we did lump a couple of those projects, the pavement, parking lot and access road, the CHS energy and efficiency, LMS gym floor replacement, and LMS fields. So that 1.8 million bond over 5 years was basically for all 4 improvement projects. That way to make it more manageable.
Well, may I add?
Yeah, go ahead.
And the reason for bucketing those particular projects is when we looked at the plan individually, it really created pretty significant tax spikes and tax decreases year to year. And what we were trying to do as a part of our mission is to level out and reduce, right, the amount of impact to taxpayers. And it made sense to bucket these in a bond to even that payment out consistently across the years. Doesn't mean I mean, it's, however it's presented on warrants, how it's presented on warrant, but in terms of planning, it made sense.
So that is. So the amended, you have the amended copy this evening that you received. So I would not use that one up there, the spreadsheet. But that is basically the capital improvement plan for the 2024-2029. So that is it. Let's see, how many questions? Happy to input.
It's a lot to take in.
Very much so.
Very consistent from years past.
Very
A
true.
lot of the same stuff we keep seeing.
Yes.
So just keep in mind, this is a plan. I know it's nothing, it's not set in stone, it's a plan. It's something to guide the town in making its decisions and regarding, the future growth of Litchfield and so forth. So
So at this particular meeting, are we asking for an acceptance of the plan?
I think so. If there's no questions, I basically would, request that the Board of Selectmen obviously approve the capital improvement plan for the 2024, 2029 term.
I mean, there's several items in here that I definitely don't agree with. So, I mean, I don't know about, I think we need to be able to digest some of this.
Again,
Is it accept the whole thing or none of it, or is it, I mean?
It would be for acceptance for future consideration by the board.
You're
All
just
of
accepting
these-
the plan as presented.
All of these would still go to the respective warrant article process. They would
Or
go to the-
not.
Yeah.
Or not.
Or not, right?
Correct.
Right, or not.
That comes down to either our board or the
Decision.
school board, you know, if you want to bring forth.
Yeah.
So we're doing nothing more than accepting the plan as presented.
My concern is that if we accept this, a lot of people are gonna go out there and say, well, the selectmen said, spend all this money. And I don't think that's usually our intent.
No, but what we're saying is we accept the plan, that this is a vision that was presented for
Yeah.
us. These are needs of the community. Doesn't mean we're gonna go fund all these needs. It's just, this is what the needs of the community are.
again, it's a plan. It's not as I said, it's not set in stone. It's not something that you don't have to do everything, I guess.
I think it's important just to highlight, right? This is a roll-up from all of your department heads, both in the town, all of your leadership within the school system, compiled together in one summary, right?
They believe in the needs and the wants
I
and
agree
necessities.
with what he
of the town.
said. We did meet for almost a year, talking to department heads, revising this, prioritizing at the end. So it's a big number. It's a big tax increase if it goes through, but it's up to the voters and the warrant article. They do see a need for the school, obviously. We see needs for the police department on our side.
Well, I'll make a motion to accept the CIP plan as presented.
We have a motion from Mr. Weber.
I'll second it, allowing discussion,
Okay.
obviously.
Yeah, the one, I would say that it's an acceptance, but not an endorsement of the plan. If everyone's okay with that.
Yep.
Okay. So with that amendment, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0.
Okay.
Thank you for all your work.
And thank
Thank you
you
for your time.
for having us this evening.
I've been through the process. It's a lot of work you guys put into it.
We do thank you for your work.
We thank the citizen members that help out also.
Yes,
I
we
have a
do.
question before they go.
Yeah.
So, when we were at the planning board meeting, when this was approved by the planning board before we came here last week, the next question would be the impact fees. So I asked
Correct.
Jay Mancaro this morning to send us over the list of the impact fees of what they had calculated. And we received this, so we spoke about the school, I think highway and fire, we had approved those. But I think that the board needs to see what the numbers are gonna be for the fees. And then, but you can approve all of the impact fees or part of them. Once you approve them, they, become, I won't say law, but they go into effect. So Jay said impact fees at any time. You want to adopt the new impact fees, just have to vote on it, all or at once. So the big thing that they're waiting for is, once impact fees do get approved, money can start going to the GMS project, right? Right now, the old plan doesn't allow for that. So we need Jay to get us those numbers, the recent numbers. And then we
I
can-
would imagine he's updating the draft plan.
That is my understanding.
yeah.
So
we
once
need
that
yes.
update of that draft plan is received, then I would recommend that it gets sent to legal counsel. They have looked at the original plan that we received earlier this fall, end of summer, whenever it was, so they can probably just review the amendments.
I know there was a question by Ms. Stevens, who's the vice chair of the planning board, about impact fees regarding the school. She seemed to think that there is a difference between the school and the town. I didn't see any difference in terms of the statutory authority, but and I don't know where she's getting that from, so I'm not sure.
As far as who has the authority to
To-
impose them?
Yeah, I don't know. She seems to think there's a difference, but I don't believe there
I
is.
don't believe there is, but I can certainly ask the
But
question.
maybe that's a good question to
I
ask.
will ask legal counsel.
Yeah,
So the old Mayberry one had that in there, where it said not to put any money towards GMS, right? So we have to look at the new draft to see
Right.
what the rules are to qualify for the impact fees, right? That's what you're saying.
but it was an interesting question. I figured I'd bring it up. I
they
think
were
that
fine
maybe just to
before.
check on that, to make sure that, as I said, I didn't see anything that, any change, or any difference, so.
And I don't believe so, because in all of the requests that have come forth from the school, it has clearly been the Board of Selectmen's authority.
Right.
But I will double check,
Okay.
just so that we're clear.
Very good.
No offense to my school board friend sitting here, but I would be afraid to turn it over. Given past history and issues that have gone on. I do have a question for you, Andrew. The land that is no longer being used, that was approved in March, where's that money going? Is that getting returned to the taxpayers?
To be determined, that is an open question that the board has with legal counsel, to understand kind of the rules and regulations behind that. Evidently, last check, going back a couple of weeks, is that Litchfield unfortunately is unique with this situation, where there hasn't been an instance in the state before where it wouldn't go through and we have to return the money, et cetera. So I think the question, I don't think it's a question of will it be returned to the taxpayer? The answer is yes. The question is when. And we need to figure out that with legal counsel's guidance in the state.
Okay. Okay, because I've been asked that question probably a dozen times since the land got pulled back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the intentions were clear by the voters.
Yeah.
Right? There's no debating that. There was a stipulation in there that, in the warrant and in the purchase and sale that extended it to 2029. So the question is, are we allowed to return that now, or do we need to wait? Obviously, the desire is to return it, but we need to go through the motions to understand that.
Okay. Okay. It won't get lost in the general fund.
It's in a separate reserve account specifically for that purpose.
Okay. Perfect. I trust you. Very good.
Anything else we can help with
Do
this
we have any
evening?
more questions for these gentlemen?
I have none.
Okay.
Good.
Well, thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you very much.
Hope everybody had a nice Thanksgiving and
Two.
Yeah.
good holiday.
Are we meeting in January or December? We have a capital improvement plan on the calendar, but do we
So
meet
there
after
is a
warrant
warrant
article or
calendar.
voting?
Yeah,
We were hoping that you may be amendable to not holding your meeting,
I mean,
so that we may hold a public hearing for community power.
December 4th.
I think that makes sense. I think
Yeah.
typically in years past,
Right.
our meeting cadence would pick up again after
after
town
the
voting.
town voting,
Right, so we understand what made it to warrant, what passed, and adjust the plan accordingly.
That's
from there.
usually been the plan, so that's fine.
Thank you.
So,
All right.
no meeting. Okay. In the short.
We'll see you in April.
We'll see you in April, yes, in the spring, when the flowers bloom.
There's no free time. No free time on the calendar. We'll repurpose it.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you.
Have a great evening. Thank
Yes,
you.
have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, guys, appreciate
For
it.
all your hard work. All right. I'm gonna shuffle the deck a little bit. Up next, application for use of a sign, because I think that the next item will have some discussion maybe. Application for use of a sign, Ms. Kleiner.
Yes, so the Litchfield Community Church submitted out an application, and they would like to advertise their Christmas concert on the sign out here. So we were simply asking for permission. We would get it up right away tomorrow. You didn't have a board meeting before the date they had requested. And we'll continue it through the 7th of December.
What about the one at the dump? Can they put it up there as well? A lot of people might see that
We
as
certainly
well.
can.
If we can work that out,
Sure.
come public bulletin. I don't know about this Carolyn Lambert person. But it's my sister. One of my sisters, one of 5. So, so we need a motion to approve the use of the sign list. Does anybody have any discussion on it? Questions, comments, concerns? Steve?
Yeah, I think it's wonderful to do this for the community.
Yep.
It's just, as always, we do it for one group.
Yep.
We open the door to do it for everybody.
And we always have the right to say no. If we deem it inappropriate, I'll say that, okay?
It's a slippery slope.
It's a slippery slope, but I don't have a problem with it, so. Motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to approve the use of the sign, of the town hall, by putting on this Litchfield Community Church.
I will second.
We have a motion from Ms. Queenan, a second from Mr. Weber. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 300. So I get my computer to work again. There we go. And then 2024 town holiday schedule. What do we have, Ms. Kleiner?
Okay, so, this is a draft, 2024, holiday schedule. And, we do have a request.
A request?
For a change in the schedule.
Okay.
Typically, in the past, the town has
Thank you.
closed for Civil Rights Day, which is January and Monday, January, and only for the clerk and the tax department. And that is because it's a state holiday and you cannot connect to state computers, so they cannot collect motor vehicles. It is also a holiday for all the towns that I have just handed you.
Yep.
That is not all of them. That is what I could find in approximately 10 minutes.
Yep.
For the staff to operate efficiently on that day is definitely compromised. Our fellow towns are not open. The state is not open. Federal is not open. There's no banking. This is a holiday that has been widely recognized for now years.
Yep.
And we would request that town hall closes on that day. That way the clerk and the tax department will not have to use their earned time, which we feel is not equitable. When you're asking some staff to use earned time for when they actually cannot work. We also feel that because of the difference, and I've given you that document in your portal, that there's a difference between the earned time that is accrued by the union versus the earned time that is accrued by the town staff. So when we basically force some town staff to use their earned time, we are only making that difference greater. I did on purpose come in this past Civil Rights Day just to judge the number of residents. It's very, very slow because there's no tax and there's no motor vehicles, and virtually no one's coming in to see any of the other departments that are open. So I feel that the impact to our residents is very slim. I do realize that it is asking for an additional holiday to be added to your non-affiliated staff. I believe that they are worth it, and it creates no additional financial cost to the town.
I agree.
Does the union get credit for the day?
So there is a contract, tentative contract before you.
Or have they,
They have not in the past.
not in the past? And it's gonna be part of this?
I mean, being it's a federal holiday, I don't see why we wouldn't give it to our
Yeah, I don't
staff.
either. I just wanna stay
Yeah.
consistent. You know, no matter what we do it for one, do it for the other. We don't want anybody, you know, we don't treat anyone better or worse than anyone. Now, you also have Columbus Day highlighted.
We would agree. So, my understanding is that in the past, there was a switch between Columbus Day and Civil Rights Day. In some years, you've taken Civil Rights Day and been closed and you're open on Columbus Day. There is concern amongst the staff not having Columbus Day off. Some other people refer to it as a different holiday, which it was renamed.
Indigenous People Day?
Indigenous People Day, correct. So if the board cannot see to close on Civil Rights Day, we could, in fact, but we do not recommend switching it with Columbus Day.
I see no issue with adding Martin Luther King Civil Rights Day to the authorized days off.
I also noticed that day after Thanksgiving, the town's closed, but solid waste is open. Are we comping them a day to make up for that? Because obviously after Thanksgiving, a lot of people go to the dump.
It's a busy day there.
It's a very busy day, so are we able to figure something out there, or?
Yes, so they actually receive that as the one day that they receive overtime pay
Okay,
for working that
Okay.
day.
okay.
And we try to accommodate as much as possible
Yep.
the schedule of that day around family events.
Okay.
But Mr. Mellon did say it was very busy
It
this
was.
past weekend.
I was there.
Friday and Saturday
yeah.
were both packed down there.
Yeah,
I was
3
there
or
both
4
days
times
talking
on
to the
Saturday.
staff, and they were busy.
Kim, what do you have to say?
I have to say, I'm not thrilled with this because people in the industry do not get Civil Rights Day off, and we do not get Columbus Day off. So I am gonna scratch the Columbus Day one. I think that was the alternate. I think I have to agree with the Civil Rights Day because, you know, the only people here would be in the back offices, right? But I'll do it, but I don't agree with it. If the state did not take those systems down, I would not agree with this. I'm being honest.
And I think that would be a
I'm tired
valid
of the town's
argument.
employees having more benefits than what I see out, you know, in the profit world. So I will agree with it, only under duress because the tax systems are down.
Mhm.
And it's not that I don't,
Yeah.
the workers are great,
Mhm.
but so are everyone else that gets up and goes to work those 2 days.
That's a valid point. So are you looking to have one or the other, or?
Well, I thought this Columbus Day was a backup in case we said no to Civil Rights Day. Or are you asking for both days?
We were recommending both days. If we absolutely have to switch one, it would be my recommendation that you take Civil Rights Day. I think that it paints a picture upon your community, not to recognize Civil Rights Day, especially with the fact that one of the first states and one of the first local municipalities to have Martin Luther King Day was within New Hampshire.
I'm full support of Martin Luther King Day.
Mhm.
But everybody else gets up and goes to work that day.
Mhm.
It's not that they're against MLK Day. So I'm gonna vote no on Columbus, I believe, unless somebody talks me out of it. I will vote yes on Civil Rights Day because the systems are down. And I'll vote no on Columbus Day.
Are the systems down on Columbus Day? It's federal holiday also, right?
It is a federal holiday
Yeah,
as
so,
well, yes, they would.
Banking's down,
So
systems
we have to
down.
do it, is what
You'd
I'm
have the
hearing.
same
Yeah,
situation.
so it's the same situation.
You'd have the same situation.
Well, I guess I'm gonna abstain, so.
I'll make a motion, we approve the 2024 town holiday with the addition of Civil Rights Martin Luther King Day.
We have a motion from Mr. Weber. We really need a full
I will
board.
second the Civil Rights Day. He just said Civil Rights Day, right?
Oh,
I said as presented, because so the normal vacation is Columbus Day. My motion is to add Civil Rights Martin Luther King to it.
So I got it, so let me backtrack then. We are voting on what I'm seeing here in yellow, right? Both days?
Correct.
I don't know, well, I have no choice. It sounds like the systems are down, right?
Correct.
I'm gonna do it, but there's no, I don't like it, but that's the way it is.
So are you still seconding?
I have to. It sounds like Columbus Day, the systems come down, right? I'll be thinking of you all when I'm going to work.
I'll be able to,
All right. I guess I can abstain,
you can abstain on
and then you'll have to wait, right? I'll approve
It's
it
still-
because there's
it's
no
still-
choice. There's no sense coming in if the systems are down. They'll be sitting there getting paid, not doing anything.
Yep. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
No, we have.
Motion
we
carries
need a
3-0-0.
motion. Three, right?
Yeah. No, we didn't need three. We could've done
I'll
two.
do it
It's
because
a
the systems are
majority.
down. I don't want
Yeah.
to pay anybody to sit here not working.
Yep.
I get no reflection on the workers.
Yeah.
They do awesome job.
I agree with you 100%.
What have we done in the past? They've come in?
So, the back staff has come in, and the tax department has had to use their earned time, and then the whole
Yeah.
town hall has been closed on Columbus
That's my
Day.
reason for supporting it. They shouldn't have to use their earned time.
Agree to that.
Especially on a day when no business is really gonna get done.
Right, I mean,
Yep.
even if tax came in, or the state systems, banks are closed. So we would have no way to deposit the money, which would be in violation of another state law, so, at some extent, your hands are tied by the federal and state system.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Up next, proposed union contract and MOU agreement. Oh,
So I'm going to say very little at this point, especially about the proposed union contract.
mhm.
Because until the board and the union tentatively agree on it, it is technically not a public document.
Oh,
Once that happens, then we will begin to work on the warrant article, and of course, it will be presented to the budget committee, and you will have both agreed, and it will be a public document at that point. So without divulging all the contents of the contract, I'll tell you that Selectman Gannon, Ms. White, and I sat with the union over a course of 5 or 6 meetings. I think we had a very good discussion. I would say that we need to take into consideration the hiring situation for not only our police department, but police departments across the state. There are a number of municipalities that are making substantial changes to salaries. So all of that, in effect, we did look at most of the police department contracts within southern New Hampshire to use that as a benchmark. And one thing that weighed heavily upon us was the kind of comparing the salaries with also the town's challenges on healthcare. So, you will see, some give back by the union in that area, which leads to the MOU. And I can go into the MOU a little bit in more detail. So the memorandum of understanding would actually take effect January 1st of 2024. And because the existing union contract goes until June 30th of 2024, we needed this MOU and able to enforce the new healthcare changes in plans, which are going to save the town a significant amount of money, about $60,000, due to the increases that were pushed down from Health Trust. So the union is agreeing to the changes in those healthcare plans, and they are agreeing to holding the 2023 buyout rates. So since the MOU is between the board and the union, and the union's already approved it, what this will do is this will allow us to change our healthcare plans, take advantage of those savings, come January, and take into account the savings not raising the buyout from the 2023 rate to the 2024 rate, which will save about $10,185. So it helps us significantly. The buyout has been, I think it's something that's been raised by the budget committee. It's certainly one of the more generous plans that I've seen. And if you can't cap it at some point, every time healthcare rates are rising, like this current year, 15.9%, that buyout was raising with it, and it's just not sustainable. So the union worked very hard with us on that fact. We realize it was definitely giving in on their part, and it's definitely something going forward that, may work a little bit against them as hiring goes, but certainly we're compensating that in the salaries. So I did supply you all a copy of the contract. I do understand that there's some salary increases in there that may be of some concern. All I can tell you is if you compare them to the salary increases that are being given by neighboring towns, they're comparable. And to do any less would probably hurt our hiring chances even more.
I'm concerned with year one. Year two and year three, I'm not.
Understood. Year one is the year that they're giving back the health care. So they'll be charged more for their health care than.
Yeah, I understand that. And without discussing it too deeply, this is a break from where we've normally been with past increases.
Agreed.
Now, one's not contingent on the other right now, is it?
Actually, the MOU is contingent upon the contract.
That concerns me. It'll concern me with budget as well, budget committee.
They can't, and let me, I should qualify that statement a little bit more. They can't go back and refuse the healthcare options. So the plans that go in effect January 1st are those plans. The part of the MOU that is contingent is the buyout, which they can change.
Kim, have you looked at it?
I have not looked at it deeply because I'm seeing the email right now, but let me just scan it. I was wondering why it wasn't attached. I know why it wasn't, but published. Oh, it's right here? Okay.
My concern
I just
is,
opened it.
I mean, if we go there here, I know it doesn't sound like proper English, but if we go there here, every other time we're talking with other departments in town, they're gonna want the same thing, because we've always kind of kept it lateral. And with the tax cap, I mean,
We're in a tough spot, I mean, because if we're not gonna meet the wage of our neighboring communities, right, first of all, we have a hard time right now acquiring offices anyways. Now, if we can't reach the dollar rate, it makes another hurdle for us. Yeah, so we're in a difficult spot.
and I do understand that, and I think we've shown good faith with, you know, some of the things we've done in the last couple of years, to treat our people proper. And it's just it's 1 year, I think.
Yeah, it's the first one, that's the tough one.
And I think it's fair to
Correct,
say
yeah.
that it was addressed and discussed in our conversations that the budget committee may find themselves in a situation where they cannot recommend it.
Yep.
You know, when you look at the healthcare costs, I mean, all throughout the budget process, we were very good at making sure that we stayed within the tax cap. We were golden and we were doing really well, and then the healthcare hit us, right? And it just,
That hurt bad.
yeah. And every other town is in the same boat as we are. There is, so Karen and I spent today, and we don't have all the elections in yet. They have until December 8th to choose their health care. But we went with the most conservative and figured it out, and there's still some room under the cap. Probably enough to approve this contract, if that was the budget
Probably.
committee's. Yeah, I mean, if the healthcare elections don't come back different than what Karen and I are looking at.
Speculating based off of history.
Right. But then every other warrant article that would come forward
Correct.
would.
Well, they'd have to pick and
would-
choose what they
right.
thought was a
So-
higher priority.
It's going to be a very difficult budget committee discussion, no doubt.
It is. It's gonna be. And how much does this add to the tax cap, or
To the budget.
first year, what,
First year,
compared to last
If-
year?
if the contract passed as is and we are taking the savings on the buyout,
Mhm.
it would be about $42,000.
So 42,000
Increase.
increase.
Increase, sorry.
And how much room do we have in the tax cap?
So after we updated it today, I think we're at 62.
And do we have anything else
Was that with this number in, the contract in or not in?
with this not
Contract
in?
not in,
Not in, okay.
not in. So,
Um,
yeah, it's gonna be about 64 under.
we're about 64 under.
Yeah.
And if this, so that leaves us approximately 22.
Yes, sir.
Because, well, Kim, you've been very quiet.
I agree, I think we're in a situation, if we look at our department.
Yeah. Oh, and I
we have
wouldn't,
Just inflation.
yeah, and I wouldn't say that they're not worth absolutely every penny and probably more. I'm just trying to look at it from,
It's the ongoing struggle we always have.
you know, and there's been a couple of things that I've been advocating for during the year, that we just, you know, we've always been told that we don't have any money for it, so, you know, the archaeological dig at the old town hall site, you know, I mean, things like that, but it seems like the last few meetings, we've been able to come up with money for things that are deemed important. All right,
And I know you guys worked diligently to get it where they started,
No
where we
question.
started, to get to the point we're at. I mean, there was a lot of efforts put in.
Yep.
Yes, so, trust me, where we settled was quite far from where the original
Mhm.
asked. And I think there was a lot of give and take on both sides. It was actually a very, very good process.
The healthcare savings will carry forward.
We'll carry some of it.
It will, so, the buyout savings within the contract itself is much better than even what the MOU has. And that will be savings that you will carry forward for every new employee for a long time.
Yeah.
So that is a continuing savings. There is,
You did a lot of work on that, too.
Yeah.
You did.
So, with not much we can do. I'll make a motion to approve the contract with the Litchfield Police Department for the period of July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2027.
I'll second.
We have a motion for Mr. Weber and a second, and I'll just add to it that, what the hell, it's Christmas. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 300. And they are worth every penny.
They are, and we
more.
have to be able to be competitive out there and retain the best officers we can and recruit the best we can.
I agree.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed MOU with the Litchfield Police Department effective January 1st, 2024.
Motion from Mr. Weber,
I'll second.
second from Ms. Queenan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 300. So I'm gonna take it you want my John Henry on here.
yes, I'll, on the MOU, you
We'll do
and
that after we finish business.
after all.
Yep.
So,
So congratulations to you and Selectman Gannon and the negotiating folks over there.
Thank you for
I
all
know
your
it was
hard work.
tough. I know it was tough. And they give up a lot. They do give up a lot. We should buy them coffee. Do we have money in the budget for that?
we can find money to buy coffee.
There we-
I think they need coffee
Yeah.
with the amount of hours they are working, right now.
Let's see. Tabled policies. We have farmer's market. Do we want to do that before
No, I think we are still waiting for Selectman Lynch to
our, okay.
review and offer additional recommendations.
Okay. All right, so then up next, we will go into town administrator and selectman reports.
So Friday, December 1st is the deadline for all budget-related warrant articles. And I have reminded people of that fact. That is so that we can get them sent over to the legal department, and have them ready for Board of Selectmen approval on December 11th and Budget Committee on December 14th.
Roughly how many warrant articles are we looking at that have expense to the taxpayers?
So considering the union contract, and I have received two others,
Two
There's
others?
a recreation one that.
3 others now. So,
What about the archaeological dig? Is it gonna be a warrant article, or We don't know
My
yet.
recommendation would be that you don't do a warrant
Yeah.
article
Right, I
for
agree.
that, and you take it out of surplus funds.
Okay, so they don't need to worry about this.
I agree with that.
I just wanted to make sure.
I agree with that as
Understood
well. Thank-
financially.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Verbiage for the record should be easy.
Yes, yes. And, I believe that with the amount of surplus that we have, we should look at the archaeology study. And we have just been, Ms. Brand received an email from the AG's office regarding the voting machines. And it does appear that those will be ready in 2024. They are looking for commitments now, so that would be $7,000 per unit. So I think we should look at both
Okay.
out of surplus funds. And we'll give you another update
Yeah.
on the 11th of exactly what funds we
Okay,
have left.
perfect.
The Hillcrest project is going quite well. Our thanks to Luke Herron, he's been out there and he's been watching what they are doing, and so it's ahead of schedule at this point. The website did come in under the 50, so we'll be starting that in the coming weeks.
On going back to Pinecrest, I just figure this is as good a time as any to plant a seed. Pennachuck has filed a rate request with the state. We don't know the specifics, but
Yeah.
good time to plant that seed.
It is, and there's been a lot of people that have been asking a lot of questions, which we've been trying to assist them with
Yep.
on, hookups and how.
Mhm.
So
Stay tuned.
people can always contact us. We'll definitely
Yep.
help them. The Veterans Park outside is
Nice.
yeah, it's beautiful. The granite's delivered. It's been shrink wrapped. We expect the pavilion on the week of the 11th.
Correct. And they're still planning on the dedication in the spring,
Yes.
but I think they're gonna get it put up right away if they can. And, It's
They
gonna be-
are right on top of it.
So a lot of people have stopped by and asked the $1 million question. How much is this costing me in taxes? So it is not costing the taxpayers a penny. All this money has been raised by the Veterans Committee through the golf tournaments and their other fundraisers, as well as donations from people in town. So if you're sitting at home wondering about it, it's
And
not costing you
corporations.
anything. What's that?
And a corporation helped.
And a corporation has put in a lot of time and their own money into this, and I'll thank them. Thank you, Rick Charbonneau, Mark Charbonneau from Continental Paving,
And Home Depot.
and Home
Has
Depot.
been helping a lot,
Home
yes.
Depot as well, yep, got a grant from them. People have been absolutely outstanding, and it just makes you proud to be a
So
part
it's
of it.
Gift from the veterans to the town.
Yes, a gift to the town will be dedicated in the spring. Thank you. Sorry, go ahead.
No. There's, so we're having a leadership meeting on Wednesday. We're gonna, have final budget discussions. We'll talk more, about the excess funds, get a better idea on that, warrant articles. A question that did come up is this year's holiday schedule is different. So Christmas is on Monday.
Mhm.
As far as Friday's closing time, I can see when it's Christmas.
Yeah, the day.
The day
yeah,
after.
yeah, I think we keep the normal hours.
I think we can as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think given the fact that we just granted a couple of holidays, that I think it's fair.
I do too.
I was gonna give them this one.
I had something to throw at you right now.
I don't like that one.
Wow. No, I think we keep it. It's a Friday. People might want to get things done before the holiday.
And we will, this year I'd like to, see what the staff would like to do as far as a holiday, get together and maybe do it a little differently than in the past, so,
Yep.
we'll have that discussion.
Okay.
The Recreation Commission sent over the sink from Talon, not the sink itself, pictures of it.
Yep, yep,
Yes.
from Town Hall, yep.
And that did hit the online auction, at, Auctions International, who we sold the vehicles through. So that is up there. John has put it on the website and is sharing it through social media. But absolutely, anybody who knows of anybody that may be in some type of commercial business, please pass it along.
Now, can the general public bid on that, or do they
Yes.
have to go to the auction site?
They go to the auction site and anybody can bid on the auction
And it's up on
site.
our social media, so they can just click the link and go right to it.
Yeah,
It's on the
It's
town
very
website?
easy.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
It's very easy. We will have a public hearing on December 11th. If we did receive the check from the state for the highway funds, for $56,869 and change. And the last thing is, Christmas is on Monday,
Mm-hmm.
the 25th.
And we don't have a meeting that day now.
We need to reschedule your meeting.
Let's have a meeting, what the heck?
Uh,
By then,
Long as we can
my
bring
wife will be
chair.
tired of me by then.
It is challenging, to say the least,
Mhm.
to find an open night on the town calendar.
Okay,
I did not see a budget meeting scheduled for the Thursday, the 21st. I was gonna reach out to the chair and see if it was just, it had been forgotten, or if that was one they were taking off.
let's see, you start voting on the school this week, next week they also vote on the school. I don't think they're planning the third one, geez, I don't know. When do we present warrant articles to them?
The schedule I was given was the 14th.
The 14th, okay, so when would they be voting on them on the 21st? JD, if you're watching, chime in.
Because that's
Check
the
out-
only night that I see an open
I can
slot.
IM him and find out. Okay,
Do we just pencil it in case we
Well,
need a meeting? If
because we did approve, actually, we did approve the meeting schedule, so if it's not scheduled, then I think it's okay. Because he did a calendar.
But don't
Yes.
they sometimes leave an open day just in case something slips?
In case something's, yeah, in case something, we run over and
Pushed,
we
you
don't get
run
it all
over,
done,
or-
yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, every other night is a meeting where you are all liaisons to, I would like to say perhaps we wouldn't need it, but that is a very long time to go from December 11th to January 11th.
I IM'd him.
Yeah,
That is a long time, too much,
It'd be the 8th.
it would be the 8th.
Eighth.
So, yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
To go, so I do think we may need a meeting in between. So I can reach out to Chair Sun and see,
okay, and I IM'd him too, so whoever hears back first.
and that is all I have this evening.
Alrighty then, so up next, we have selectmen reports. Well, this will be fairly quick tonight, even with Kim's half a dozen committees. Mr. Weber, we'll start with you, Rec Commission.
The Rec Commission, as you heard, we have the sink out for auction. We also saw tonight that Christmas of Litchfield is going to have a fireworks display
Awesome.
to conclude the evening. That's going to be on Saturday, December 9th from 4 to 7 down at Roy Memorial Park. And other than that, our next meeting is tomorrow evening.
All right. Yes.
Oh, and there's also the Christmas parade on Friday, December 8th.
Ooh. That's the town parade, right? It's not like fire engines and stuff, it's just the town parades, right?
That is the Spirit of
Litchfield
Litchfield.
Spirit
Parade,
Litchfield Parade, yeah.
which will start up at Hidden Creek, come all the way down, loop around at the high school, and then end back at the fire station.
Back at the fire station, wonderful.
What time does that kick off?
You would have to ask.
It's 6
I
o'clock?
don't know.
6, I think it
I
is.
think it's
Usually
6.
they do them at 6.
And there is a registration form. They are asking people to fill out the registration form
If
so that
wanna
they
be
have
in
an
it.
accurate count of participants.
Yep.
And that states all the insurance regulations on the form. I saw it on social media.
Mhm.
So they want everybody to meet at the fire station at 5:45, and the parade will start at 6 PM.
Nice.
Okay. So anyone wants to be in the parade, check in and register.
Go to social media, Christmas in Litchfield, and the form is right there.
Perfect. Thanks to everyone for putting that together. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, Spirit of Litchfield does a great job.
Yep.
They've been great to work with.
And I believe they're accepting gift baskets, which get auctioned.
Get raffled off, I
Raffled
believe.
off.
Okay.
So you need to come to my office.
Okay.
My turn.
Miss
Some of this we've
Queenan,
already
let's
gone
see,
over.
what do we got for you? We got planning board, capital improvement, energy and
Economic
economic.
and NRPC.
Yeah.
All right, planning board. We already went over that we passed the SIP. And then we talked about the impact fees, right? So I don't have to review that. Our next meeting is December 5th, Tuesday, here at the town hall. The only thing I would like to maybe bring up on our next meeting, I'm not sure, I don't know if you watched the meeting or not, but
I did.
we have another legal request coming in about the DOT permit and wanting to build early and not holding the town, liable if something goes wrong. At some point, we have to decide when we're gonna keep doing that or not. I don't know what the criteria is on that, but maybe a phone call to DOT to see how they're doing. Remember you gauged it last time and they had a bunch of people age out and retire?
I haven't, if you're talking about the gas station
state.
in the north end?
No, I'm talking about up on Route 102.
Oh,
It was
okay.
fine, I don't, we don't mind doing it, I just make sure that legal is coming in. I made that
Yeah.
4 or 5 times if you watch the
Yeah.
meeting. But at some point, if the Board of Selectmen does not want to keep doing that,
Yeah, okay.
we should have a discussion. But I don't know a temperature gauge at the DOT.
Yeah, so, there's been a number of people that have been promoted that are learning new jobs. Still, the state has quite a bit of openings, as do many municipalities.
So there's still about a year, right?
It's choosing, they're saying that this job market for municipalities will probably continue well into 2024.
So we're gonna just keep allowing this to happen, just as long as legal is.
Yeah, as legal's good with it. and-
Alright.
Yeah, and, I mean, like in the case of the project at the north end where they had the, initial permit, they didn't have the final one, but it was, ongoing. I think we did the right thing by permitting that. And I'd say the same thing for over here. Stay consistent, yeah.
And I think legal counsel will let us know
Yep.
when they might be our legal counsel will
Yep.
let us know. I do send them all and discuss them with her.
Okay, so you know about the one in the northern part of town, 102.
So, yeah,
And he has every other permit.
yeah. Everything else
That's
is
the
good.
one
It's
holding.
DOT.
Looking for the curb
yes.
cut, is that what it is, another curb cut situation?
No, they're doing
It's
some
a
traffic
traffic
studies and all that,
study.
and, just finalizing it.
Yep.
They have some initial things going on. Okay, so I just wanted you to be aware it's coming in, hopefully it already did, and then if we wanted a discussion on how long we let that keep happening. So for now, let it happen. All right, with capital improvement planning, you said, we had a meeting December 4th that you wanted to cancel. I thought I saw the Energy Commission's second public hearing was the 5th.
I think it is the 5th.
Okay, so I'll go past capital improvement planning. We're done, we've passed it, you've passed it at this point, and we pick up, I guess, back in, March or April.
Mhm.
All right, so the Energy Committee, we have a first public hearing Tuesday, November 28th, which is tomorrow, at the fire station from 7 to 8:30. That's more of an education session, question and answer session. Hopefully we have people, come to that. Now, the second public hearing will be December 5th. Is that true? Or did you want 4th or 5th? I thought I saw it on the calendar here as the 5th.
I think, we were making it 5th.
Okay. So the.
Because we were concerned that, we didn't know if we could have CIP. So since CIP, it will be, is amendable to canceling their meeting, we can now schedule it on the 4th.
Either one. Yeah, okay.
And then that way it won't coincide with the planning board meeting that
Okay,
night.
I would have had to step down.
So that was the intent.
So we're still waiting the survey results unless they came in. Do we
The
have-
survey results did come in.
Okay, and we're updating the draft plan still.
We're still updating the draft plan, legal is still reviewing.
Okay.
And I just received late this afternoon the slides that Standard Power will be
Oh,
presenting
good.
tomorrow night.
Good. All right, so we're gonna have our public hearing, hopefully, I'm not sure if the results will be in that. Are the survey results in the public hearing one slides, or are they going to be in the second hearing with, and, you know, when we have the draft plan already done? I know we still have to look at it and
Second.
vote on that. Okay, so they'll be
Yes.
ready for the second one, which is fine. Okay. All right. Economic Development Committee, we meet Wednesday, November 29th, so I'm going to be here for the next few nights. Here at the Town Hall, 6:30 PM. We will begin preparing a survey for the town for citizen input on feedback on what they envision for the economic part of the town. Also, maybe we'll start to ask if we want to look at other towns of what they're doing. There seems to be a lot of traction out there with economic development happening in other towns, just to see what they're doing. I'd like to just take a workshop and do that. NRPC, we have the full commissioner meeting. It's a quarterly meeting, November 20th, 7 PM, 30 Temple Street in Nashua. Our typical transportation improvement program reports, but we've been working on a new vision and strategy for NRPC. We're going to present that to the full commission on December 20th, and if they approve that, we will roll it out to the towns. And that's what I have.
Perfect. Budget committee was off last week. We meet Thursday again. We start voting on the school budget. And that's really all we have. Okay. That takes care of the public portion of this program. We do have a non-public session under RSA 91-A semicolon 3 comma 2 A in parentheses, the dismissal, promotion, or compensation of any public employee or the disciplining of such employee or the investigation of any charges against him or her unless the employee affected, 1, has a right to a meeting, and 2, requests that the meeting be open, in which case the request shall be granted. And RSA 91-A semicolon 3, comma 2, B in parentheses, the hiring of public employee. We have a motion to go into non-public.
So moved.
We have a motion from Mr. Weber.
Gotta read the whole thing, yes, I'll second.
A second from Ms. Queenan. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries 300. We are going into non-public at 8:11 PM.
And you have
What?